This is a time that we really all need to come together to really support our foster youth. During these times, we find that there is economic stress in regards to the educational system, and especially within charter schools. So really coming together to really help and support to ensure our students are getting exactly what they need to ensure they are able to move forward for graduation, receiving their supplies. This is where we would love for everybody to come and help and come together to ensure our students are thriving.
When our girls walk through our doors, we're here to provide them whatever services they may need to be successful. Whether that's providing mental health services or finding some kind of childcare for some of our young mothers, or just finding a program that's going to be able to meet girls where they are, that's what we're here to do. That's who we're here to serve.
The social worker here, Mr. Tapaste, I found out I was pregnant in July, and I started attending school here in August. He connected me with all the resources that I need, not only to finish high school and to focus on my academics. He connected me with resources to the transitional living. He connected me with all the resources that I have now for my daughter.
It's a challenge to teach via Zoom, especially because you don't get to see students' reactions. Just being able to read them is such a crucial part of teaching that is definitely making it more difficult. Having students at the same time in a Zoom room gives them a sense of they're still connected to each other, gives them a sense of community. And I'll always give them a platform for them to talk about what are some of their concerns. Some of them tell me that they're anxious or worried about the loss of income from their parents and or whether they'll have enough resources in the next month, next 2 months.
As soon as we discovered that we would have to shut down our school, immediately what we did was think about what would be in the best interest of the girls. How could we help them move along? So we did a needs assessment of all of our families, and we asked them simple questions. One was, do you have access to food? Do you have access to mental health services? Do you have access to technology? And do you have access to the internet? And in doing that, we got a better idea of what our students would need. Today, we are able to offer about 500 meals to not only our girls, but also their siblings, our community, and partner with St. Anne's. We're able to feed a lot of the families that have been impacted, much like all of us, by COVID-19. The next thing that we did was to get a better idea of whether they had access to mental health services. We asked the students, what's going on? How can we help you? And today we have our social worker and our school psychologist constantly checking in with the girls to ensure that they feel supported and to feel fit enough to continue their classes. We also asked the girls if they had access to technology, which was an interesting question, only because although the girls did see themselves having access to technology, many of them had to share computers with many other family members. So one thing that we did was we ensured that all of our girls had access to a computer that they could use on their own. That also came with the additional question of, do you have access to the internet? And that's really where the challenges came up. After getting a better understanding of where they were, we were able to purchase hotspots for our girls so they could have access to that.
When we reconvened after the COVID-19 break, I posted a quote by Paulo Coelho, the Brazilian author of The Alchemist, in my Zoom room. The quote reads, "When we least expect it, life sets the challenge to test our courage and willingness to change. At such a moment, there is no point in pretending that nothing has happened or in saying that we're not yet ready. The challenge will not wait. Life does not look back." There was one reflection in particular that really struck me deeply, and that was by our student Luisana. Her reflection reads, "To me, this phrase means that when you get to that moment when your decisions are to go straight ahead because you have no other options, at that moment when you hit bottom, you can no longer think about how you got there or question something you cannot change because you're 100 meters under the water and your only choice is to go up and take a breath or you die. That moment when the only action is to move forward and the only path is the one that shows you a flash of light to leave behind the darkness in which you were submerged. Keep going despite adversity. You've been strong enough to be where you are, and you have to be strong enough again to step into the unexpected that turns out to be the future at times." Here is Luisana.
I was born in Venezuela. I came here 2 years ago, and I live with my mom and my brother and me. My brother, he is 19 years old, but he actually thinks like at 3 years old. And they told us that he could be like 60 and he's gonna still thinking like as a kid. For me, it's the most natural thing like in my life. I love my brother. He's my whole life. So it's like a whole new start, a whole new house, a whole new language, a whole new culture. It was hard. My mom working and me wanted to go to school, wanted to learn a new language. My currently internship is Homies Unidos. There I get to know a lot about history, immigration, very serious problems. After I graduate, I'm looking forward to go to university. I want to study psychology and computer engineering. When I came to New Village, I got the support that you wouldn't have in other high schools. Like in other high school, you're just a number, but here you actually like people worry about you.
New Village offers an opportunity to our young ladies to be who they are, to bring their full potential. So whether it's a newcomer, it's English learners, a teen mom, whether it's someone who has maybe experienced homelessness and has been at 4, 5, 10 schools, what I think New Village reminds us is that the relationship and the powerful connection of people is still the strongest power of learning.
My experience in Yosemite, I loved being there. Like, it was so like quiet, but like not quiet because you can hear all the birds. The vibe was just so like relaxing. Inhaling this air, I want to experience that again. I remember the night where we had the bonfire and we were all laughing when I looked up at the sky and it was just glistening with stars. It was hard. It was raining and like I was cold. And there was moments where I just wanted to like go home and crawl in bed. When the hike and like the whole trip was over, I remember telling myself that if I didn't have like my classmates and my teachers there to support me, I just felt like I was at home with them. If I did that, I can do anything.
When I was teaching in high school, we were very much focused on narratives and people being, given agency to speak their stories and where they had come from in life and kind of recognizing that, giving recognition to that process of storytelling.
What we offer is unheard of in most places, but it's only possible because of the investment that's been made by our community partners, the investment that's been made by our teachers and our staff, our friends, our family.
We want to emphasize that post-secondary education is a possibility. So many of the scholars who walk through our doors have viewed that as not necessarily being the most viable option. We want to change that narrative, and we want them to change their own perspectives of saying, we can do this.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
About 60% of our graduating class went into STEM-related fields. We've been able to do that here through innovative ideas in regards to how we're delivering science instruction, but also in internship and their opportunity to explore STEM-related fields.
I've done the JPL Challenge 2 years in a row. This is my second year, my last year. And this is the first time I actually went to like state finals. It's completely different from just going to like a school to like an actual campus where they do engineering and stuff. And for me, that's amazing because I'm going into mechanical engineering and also art. Even though, yeah, it's a competition, but it's fun to just even like create something that works.
My projection of the future is something like what you find yourself surrounded by every day. You kind of walk into the world and either you're in a car or on the train, but you see hardworking people like by the millions around you, and I want to be one of those people. I want to be taking care of business somewhere. I want to be somewhere working when somebody who's wondering what they want to do with their life is walking past. I dream about working hard and it paying off and succeeding.
I was originally born in Uganda. I want to go and see if I can help my country, like the young women there, and see if I can help them get to where I am and learn the things that I've learned. I want to be able to bring joy to people and then also just a hope. That's something that I've been able to learn throughout my time here in New Village, but then also just like coming to America.
I wish that every girl had the experience that the girls here at New Village have. And that experience comes from our donors. Being able to do the things that they probably never would have been able to do or think that they could do or even have. It is so comforting to see their faces light up when they come back from a hiking trip, or when we're able to provide them with food or a bassinet for their baby because they had to have an emergency C-section. Like, these things that our donors help us to provide for our girls is just beyond amazing. And it just gives our girls so much that they need. And there's no other school out there like ours. There's not one.
It's not a community that's gonna leave once you graduate, and they'll keep on supporting you throughout your life, throughout their lives.